But now fiction has become reality for Gillian Anderson. After playing the part of a sex therapist on TV, she's now hoping to help women around the world take power in the bedroom with her new book. It's called Want. This is the book, and this is the book we all need. I needed it. You need it. Jill, thank you. Thank you, Gillian. Oh, tell us a little bit about it, because how did the idea come about? Because I remember, I don't know if you remember Secret Garden. Very similar book. I was a teenager when I read it, absolutely loved it.
Well, Nancy Friday, who wrote My Secret Garden, did a call out to women in her community to write in. This was presented to me by my literary agent, who said, what if we did a book for the ages to see whether anything has moved on in the internal minds of women from around the world and actually spreads the ask out much further. And so we did that. We put calls out. We did articles and tweets and Instagram and as much as we could do. Bloomsbury, who ended up publishing it, put the call out, and we ended up getting letters in, anonymous letters from women, like in Nancy Friday's book. There are anonymous letters from women of all ages, from many different nations and countries and cultures from around the world. And so it feels like a compilation of women, anthropologically, of women from all corners of the earth. And so we've got really touching, moving, raw. It's not it wasn't a literary exercise. Women are writing in, they may have never written anything before or even talked about their internal desires and imaginings, and were brave enough to send their letter into the portal to come to me so that we could publish it.
I mean, you say brave. The thing is, with something like this is all about women's fantasies. You say brave, but when you're anonymous, I think it gives you more room to, experiment, to really tell the truth and what you're really feeling. I feel like this book is an honest depiction of what women really want.
Well, it's interesting, because you'd imagine that in this day and age, with everything that's on screen, with all the porn, with all the things like sex education and euphoria, that it's such a big part of our culture on the one hand, but it's kind of not on the other hand, just in terms of how we communicate with our partners or with our friends. And so what's interesting about the book is that even though it is anonymous, the women who wrote in speak about feeling freer in getting to write it down, that somehow they feel seen and heard in what their desires are. And also, women who are reading the book are saying that they feel, because they're reading other women's thoughts and experiences, that they feel that they are represented on the page. And it's not just about the bedroom. That's the point that's coming from this. It's women thinking about what it is that they actually want in their lives and how they are involved or complicit and maybe not feeling courageous enough to ask for it. And that can start in the bedroom, it can start in the office, it can start with your partner or who you're dating. But, how am I contributing to me not getting what it is that I want from my life? And it's a big conversation. But I think from what I'm hearing, women are really appreciating a platform and a community to be having that conversation, because they feel heard. And
so The Secret Garden, that was the kind of inspiration, was in 1973?
Correct, yeah.
OK, so from 1973 till now, have we moved on as women? Do we ask for what we want more? Have we got it right yet, or not really?
I don't know if there's any right and wrong. I mean, what is surprising is that 2024, there is such a taboo around fantasy and around, it's amazing in these letters to hear women still talk about getting their needs met in their own time, if they even do, because they don't want the awkwardness. They don't want their partner to feel that they are judging how it is. They don't want to waste their time. All those, which is it's really interesting, isn't it? I'm I'm an actor. I'm not a specialist. I'm not a therapist.
Yeah.
This is not my life. I find this a fascinating topic, and what I'm learning from the women who are talking to me is that there is a space for this and a need for this conversation to happen, because it's reverberating when people and women and men read this book. Men are buying this book for themselves, not just to have a deeper understanding of the internal workings of women and what they want and maybe how they can help them get what they want, but also, you know, I've had men say to me that they bought it for their daughter to counterbalance the toxic masculinity that's out there, because there's so much of it, and we need as much as we can to help balance that. So, yeah, it's a much bigger conversation than I think we ever could have dreamed for. And
well, I want to sell this book for you, because we're talking aliens, Harry Potter,
Yes.
we're talking Harry Styles, we're talking, what else are we talking?
Robots.
Bigfoot.
Yes, very
What else?
good.
What else?
You name it,
Yes.
it's in this book.
Other
The
things which I won't
fantasies are on another
necessarily
level.
mention, but they are on another level. But there's so much tenderness, and there's, you know, it's, you know, young girls who have yet to have sex and what they're fantasizing about. Women in their 70s who've never been kissed. You know, women who have been married for 35 years and just are exhausted by the same old, or exhausted by the kids and exhausted and don't feel like they have time, but somehow in pausing and thinking about it and thinking that maybe, actually, what if I buy this and I read it with my partner? And what if we just start the conversation, open up the conversation about, are you getting what it is that you want? Is there anything
so
that can
happy
change?
you've created this space for this to happen. I feel like you could have another 5 of these books.
Oh, easily. And yours is in there as well, isn't it?
It is indeed.
Because you were asked to put one in there, but you actually didn't enjoy writing it.
I did not.
Why didn't you enjoy it? Because you're
Didn't like writing it.
anonymous.
It's not so much that, it's, you know, I find myself talking about this topic a lot because of sex education, and my involvement with my socials has an element of this topic. And, but the act of actually writing particular words down, all of a sudden I froze. Really? And I'm not prude. I literally can hear and see quite a lot without being affected. And I was really shocked that suddenly, by writing it down, it felt, I'm going to say dirtier than it was in my mind.
It's the connotations that come with the words.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
I think that's what it is.
But predominantly, I think, because of how they've been, you know, pre-opted for the porn industry.
Reframed.
And reframed.
So interesting.
Yeah.
Can we play a quick silly game in the meantime? If we're on a truth tip. I have never, or I have, or I have never. Okay, first one. Are you ready to go, ladies?
Make it good.
Fancied a co-star or colleague? I married him.
Oh, definitely.
Have you?
Yeah.
Who's yours?
Who have you fancied?
That's not part
Oh,
of
we
the
don't
game.
need to tell.
Who have you fancied?
Literally all the Hollywood stars I've interviewed.
Every single one?
Literally all of them.
Really?
And the women.
She's
all
got a
of them.
hit list of you fellas. Next one. Have you ever had a crush on a cartoon character?
I have. He-Man.
I have, but on David Bowie in Labyrinth, playing the Dark Lord. Weird.
Does Buster Keaton count? It's not really a cartoon
enough.
character, but it might as well be, because it was black and white. And I
Yeah.
used to have a real crush on Buster Keaton.
Been a
Not that I was
okay.
alive during the time, but in retrospect, just saying.
Amazing.
Okay.
one.
Never have I ever done a sexy photo shoot or taken a sexy selfie. I have. I was naked except for the Millennium Falcon. Don't ask.
I was naked except for a fish. I was naked. Sorry.
Yes. Gillian
I
Anderson.
did a naked calendar for this morning and literally was covered in sweets.
Oh,
and
you
I
were?
sat
Were
in a
you
trolley.
really?
Honestly, yeah. Yeah, and also I've been in a jacuzzi. I'm nearly naked.
Are you?
Look, there you go. Hello.
wow.
There's something for the dads today.
Wow. Well.
Or
Or the girls, or the mums.
Anyway.
There you go. Have
Gillian,
that.
Yes.
thank you so much.
so I'm still holding that.
You can take that home as a little souvenir. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Your book Want is out now.
Thank you so much.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank
Really
you,
appreciate it.
Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload new content every day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out, and we'll see you in the morning.